I want answers. The message you've been sending us all week. All TxTag customers, all fed up with customer service.
The hoops you have to jump through to get someone to work with you.
Complaints resurface with the state's tollway billing system after the Texas Department of Transportation first promised to fix it 2 years ago.
But if you're going to build a toll road, it better work the way people expect it to.
From 2015 to today, many of you tell us the payment process is actually a lot worse and has you facing major fees.
Yes, nearly 30% of all TxTag accounts have had a bill sent to collections this year alone.
For years, Mila Louvier says she enjoyed the convenience of the TxTag system. She could drive through tolls with no hassle. And TxTag simply drew money automatically from her bank. Then this spring, she started noticing some unexpected charges. So she reached out to TxTag customer service.
Calls to them haven't been helpful.
Louvier says she phoned repeatedly, waiting more than a month just to get a call back from someone who could resolve her problem.
Those calls just didn't come until it was way too late, until they had sent 95% of our account to collections.
In just a short 2-month span, her initial $400 bill had shot up by more than $5,700 in administration fees. And soon, a collections company was demanding she pay up.
I do feel like this is a goal of their customer service, to send people into collections and get as much money off of these fees as they can.
Thank you for calling TxTag customer service.
Louvier is not alone. This year, more than 2.2 million TxTag accounts have been sent to collections, racking up nearly $1 billion in fees for drivers. Linda Sexton heads up toll operations at TxDOT and says those fees can add up fast.
Isn't it a problem if nearly 30% of all TxTag accounts are in collections?
Well, it's not necessarily indicative of a problem. It's very clearly drawn out how a transaction escalates through the process and the applicable fees that will be applied if those notices go unanswered.
It's heartbreaking to listen to those kind of calls every day. And it's all day long.
This former TxTag customer service representative asked us to conceal her identity if she agreed to share what happened when she took her concerns about calls to management.
They do not care if you have a problem with it. That's your job. You do what they say or you can leave. They don't care.
And so you left?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd rather leave than work for a company like that. I'm not going to work for them.
And when she left, she took her employee manual. It says workers must keep their call times to just 5.5 minutes, including hold time.
What happens if the issue is too complex to be able to be resolved in under 5.5 minutes?
There's going to be those instances, and we will certainly take the time that is necessary to ensure that we answer all of the questions and that we answer it to the customer satisfaction.
Still, customer service reps are given a quota, at least 80 calls per day, to collect as many payments as possible, but to never inform customers if their accounts are in collections, which might mean they owe a lot more.
They're paying and they're thinking that they're paying their bill, which to me is even more deceitful.
There are 2 major toll roads running through the heart of Representative Tony Dale's Central Texas district. He says they've been a problem, and they still are.
We've got a large number of constituents that drive on the roads on a daily basis, and we hear complaints weekly without question.
Including complaints about TxTag customer service.
You would hope that someone makes a call for a complaint, it's handled in a timely manner, and no matter who gets the call, they should be able to address it.
Until the problems are fixed, Representative Dale vows he won't drive on toll roads in Texas and proposes a complete system overhaul.
I think Texas needs a wholly different way to look at this. Myself and other members of the legislature are going to be asking the Speaker to have the Transportation Committee look at this specific problem.
And it looks like the Speaker of the House is already taking notice. We learned in just the few days since we first started telling viewers about this investigation this week, Speaker Joe Straus added toll transparency and stakeholder responsiveness to a list of issues he wants lawmakers to study before the next session. Many of you have told us you've called TxTag and still don't have answers about your bill.
So we are taking your concerns straight to the top of TxDOT.
Check out the homepage at KXAN.com. Click on I Want Answers. Tell us about your experience with customer service and upload your bill. TxTag tells us it will review and help get to the bottom of the bills we deliver to the agency, so let us help right now at KXAN.com.
The customer had not informed us of an address change.
TxTag still blaming dozens of customers for many of those massive TxTag late fees we've been investigating for months. We took your bills straight to the top of TxTag for answers, and they told us the bulk of the problems stem from customers failing to update their address. But as KXAN investigator Brittany Glass uncovered, TxTag has a way to make sure addresses are accurate. It's just not always doing it, and it might be costing you.
Because I don't drive the toll roads, I automatically knew this is not for me.
Andrew Wheeler is largely confined to a wheelchair.
I haven't owned a car in probably a good 30 years.
He says it doesn't make sense he's been receiving TxTag bills over the past year for multiple drivers he doesn't know at his own home address where he's lived for nearly 2 decades.
These poor guys, you know, they have, I'm sure, not a clue that there's some outstanding bill that they haven't received, you know.
One of those bills was meant for this man, Nathan Fryer.
I don't even understand how that works. Like, how is he tied to me at all? That's a little alarming.
Especially since Fryer doesn't even own the vehicle listed on the bill anymore. He sold it early last year, then the new owner sold it again, all verified through the state's Department of Motor Vehicles. But the bill still went to the wrong address.
They're still racking up bills in my name in North Austin, which I am obviously not driving on that highway.
TxTag tells us drivers are supposed to update their addresses if their TxTag bills are being sent somewhere they don't live. Why was the collections agency able to identify their new address, but TxTag was not?
The initial invoices went to the wrong address because we did not have that information available to us. The customer had not informed us of an address change.
But TxTag should be able to verify addresses on its own, which should help cut down on confusion and massive collection fees. You see, under Texas law and through this interagency contract, TxTag is supposed to use DMV's record system to track down drivers who pay by mail on the toll roads, or get it to the right place through other reliable means. In Fryer's case, the DMV says it has the correct address for the current owner, who we also tracked down, just to make sure. There are huge discrepancies with the address system. The way that TxTag works with DMV, things aren't adding up.
That's not what we're seeing at all.
At the latest Texas Transportation Commission meeting, an agency spokesperson blocked our questions from commissioners. Bills are getting sent to people that they shouldn't be getting sent to, and that's why people aren't getting their bills.
We are using the addresses that we have with DMV, so they should be getting their bills.
Fryer never did. He says he never received any TxTag bills at the home where he's lived the last 7 years during the time in question.
I'm sure I'm not the only person. Texas is a big state. There's got to be lots of folks out there who have $10,000 bills that have no idea they have them. And that's just alarming. They got to find a new system.
We have some good news tonight, as we've learned a new fee structure is set to take effect on March 1st, and it should help with future toll charges.
And KXAN investigator Brittany Glass tells us about some other big changes in the works and hopefully relief in sight for at least some of the millions of TxTag customers who've racked up massive fines in the past year.
We've learned by the end of this month, the collections agency sending drivers all those late fees will no longer be contracted with TxTag. Since right around the time we started investigating, there have been no additional accounts sent to collections.
Hundreds of complaints to our investigative team and a nearly year-long KXAN investigation, the Texas Department of Transportation is now waiving more than $1 billion of debt. 2.2 million accounts were sent to collections last year alone.